That's the 58, and this is the 57. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. You want me to try this one?
Can you do the 57 again, please?
Testing MC, testing SM57.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing it.
1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
A little more.
1, 2. Test. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Testing. Mic check. 1, 2. Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing. 1, 2. Test.
Maybe it's just being thrown weird. Okay, again.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Test. Test, test, test. Mic check. Mic check. SM57. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have we given you your lavalier mic yet? Have we given you your... No?
I know we'll do the lab.
Okay.
I'm hearing it.
Perfect. Do you want to also do the wireless?
Yes.
Mic check, 1, 2. Wireless mic check, mic 2, 1, 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, testing, 1, 2. Testing.
Okay, so
Stephen, will you do this here?
sure. Marilyn's going to use it today.
Oh.
She won't be able to use it in the atrium, is what she said.
No, there is one in the atrium
Right.
specifically for the atrium.
I don't know yet. It depends
Okay.
on who's going to be in the atrium.
Gotcha.
That one we're going to have to call.
Yeah. Once I see Marilyn,
So,
I can just show her what
Just so
mic.
you, Marilyn's right behind you, just so you know.
Oh, there you are.
So, I'm going to be wearing a prayer shawl. You probably saw Dan wearing one yesterday. Mine is larger, and mine does not stay on. So it constantly falls, and otherwise, it is what it is. I'm told. So, just so you know.
They didn't have Velcro back then.
And this material is slippery, but anything I wear is slippery. You said this side was better.
It was yesterday just because of the way your clothing was set.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, try that out. If I can I'm just going to do the. Are you putting it on here or on the?
Yeah, I'll
put it
just.
Michael, how are things? Good.
Make adjustments.
Okay. Thank you.
Now you look
And
like a
it
TV
seems to be-
star.
Yes. Okay. Do you want me to turn it off right now or save the battery?
If you need batteries for anything, I got.
We have this switch.
I'm check. Can they hear me?
And then, yeah, like he was saying yesterday, it's just speak how you would, and I'll just kind of adjust to it.
Thank you very much.
Stephen is a pro when it comes to this. So I'll work with Marilyn about the mics.
Thank you.
Oh, you need a stand, I'll get you a stand.
There's one in the shul.
Main choir mic, main choir mic. I'll step back to where the choir would normally stand. Main choir mic, test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. 1, 2, test. We're getting some feedback in this room. 1, 2, test. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Call the caller the catcher.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Oh, there's a heavy caller, which they call a catcher. I don't know if that's what they call it. Catcher Dane.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standing back at the music test 1 2, test 1 2, 1 2. 2 4 6 8 10. Mic check 1 2. Choir mic check. Main choir mic check. Main choir mic check. Choir mic check. 2 4 6 8. 1 2 3 4. So did you want to store that one there, or should I put it back over there yet? I'll put it back over where it normally is.
Which one are you referring to?
The wireless itself.
Yeah, we'll put it right over there.
Okay, great, thanks. 2 4 6 8 10. Mic check. Choir mic check. Main choir mic check. 1 2 2 2 2. Main choir mic check 1. Mic check 1. Did the settings change when we powered up?
Oh, for the feedback?
No, I'm referring for the pattern of the mic.
No, we're good.
Good.
We're good. Yeah.
Okay, you want to do the choir leaders mic too?
Yes, absolutely, please.
Choir director's mic, 1 2. Good morning. Choir mic, test 1 2. Test 1 2. 1 2, test 1 2. Mic check 1 2. This is the choir director's mic, 1 2. Testing 1 2. Test 1 2 1. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4. 1 2. Testing 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16 18. Test 1 2. Test test. 1 2 test 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 test. 2 4 6 8 10 10 10 10. Testing. Hey hey. Oh. Would it matter to you if I dropped this cable down? It just looks better on camera. And so if you're good with this one, I'll put this one where they expect it.
Yeah.
And I will talk to Marilyn.
Let's try this one again, just really quickly. If you wanna, can you? Just wanna double check. That's the
Wireless mic that belongs in the NPR. 1 2 testing. 1 2 testing. 1 2. It's not normal that I hear this much from the other room, but you know, maybe we just close the doors a bit. Well, we can always close those doors.
Because I could definitely bring it down.
Yeah, we can always just close those doors too. To isolate it. 1 2 test. 1 2. Because you also get that delay as well. 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16. Mic check. I just don't hear anything out of there, do you?
No, that's like, it's very subtle. Here, I'll speak. Okay. And then, like, it's very. Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2. Testing. Nothing on that.
But you're fine in the atrium. Good morning, Lord.
And how are we on the internet?
Hey, last night wasn't bad.
Should be even better.
Oh, let's- oh.
Sorry, Michael, did you say something? Did you say something?
Yeah, no comment. I'm just gonna call Keith really quick.
Great. I think Mike was telling us the mic's live on the internet.
Okay, let's figure this out. Testing.
Marilyn, can I show you where the other mic is? Can I stand
Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing.
So if you're in this room,
Hang on a second. Okay, one lady here, one here.
Testing, 1, 2. Testing.
Oh, yes, I'm going to take the mic around to somebody to say where. Okay, so where is it?
So in this room,
Carolyn, I'm bringing Carol down today.
in this room, or the synagogue, it'll be right here.
Okay, and it's on all the time.
Yes. But if you're going into the atrium, which
Yeah.
I understand might be
Might be, yeah.
the case, may I walk you over to the atrium?
Right, we're going to try and keep the floors separate? Oh, yes, okay, yeah, we're going in there.
Testing. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing.
How's that? Are we on TV? Then you can see the fire. Okay. Well, this maybe nobody go by this little foot thing. Although I probably won't count very many, but. Good morning, Gordon.
Perfect. And are you walking up to people?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to try it? Sure. Okay. Morning, Kathy. Good John too. Hello. Good John too. Oh, good. Good to see you. I'm just testing out the mic. Say test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3. We're good.
How
In
you
fact,
doing? You doing okay?
I'm okay, yeah, not bad. It was beautiful last night.
I was here with the net.
Yeah, and you're going to enjoy it again today. Beautiful.
My specter used to think
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah,
it was nice.
yeah,
Are many of the ladies here from because I don't know maybe somewhere like
yeah.
And
So it's
it's,
all good.
and it's good to keep it close to the mouth.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. 1, 2. It's weird. They're being sent to both rooms. They're just not being sent here. So I'm checking the auxiliaries.
Possibility he's muted it here because that mic is
It might.
wandering around here.
That's a possibility. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could just be sent out. You'll probably hear it in here being projected in the room.
Yeah, although
Because it's very, like, when you were testing it earlier, it's very faint in the speakers.
Sure.
But it's not, yeah, it's not prominent. As prominent as
the people
other
speaking will likely be guests who are not normally used to projecting.
Yes, that's
So
the thing.
that
yeah.
might be
An
something
issue.
you adjust as you go on the fly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll definitely be on that for the lab and these. He advised not to touch choir just so that they,
Yeah, choir is really
they have their way.
they're such a good choir.
Amazing, yeah. I'll just ask him really quick just
Sure.
to verify.
Michael, are you able to see hear the stream? Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here myself. Steve, are you going at 10 o'clock on the notes or ish?
Okay, so it's probably,
But if I'm a little late, my apologies.
We'd rather you be a little late.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
I may not succumb to your wishes. No problem.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
You know, we hope so too, but I'm not holding my breath at the moment. Here you go. And we have Easter booklets as well.
Testing.
Or can I give you the booklet? We're going to use this later. Can I just put it right over here?
Testing 1 2. Can you do me a quick favor, please? Can you just speak into this mic on this side for a sec? Just test 1 2.
Check 1 2 check. Testing 1. Checking mic 1 2. Hey. Hey. Checking 1 2. Hello. Check. Check mic 1 2. Hey. Hello. Checking mic 1 2. Hello. Hey. Hey. Test. 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 Checking 1 2. Hey. Hey. Hello. It's the wrong thing for this mic. It's not sending to this output because this mic is going there.
This mic is going in through the main left rights?
Yeah.
Okay, but this one is going
Only the
only for the okay.
Do you know
So
how
that's
to
probably on purpose.
change.
I don't know. I just don't know how it's set up. Like you have the channel strip. Usually what you do is
Mic. Hello. Check. Check. Oh, that's the outside. Check. 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 Testing mic. Hello. Check. Check. Checking mic. 1, 2. That's the outside. Hello. Hello.
Hey, like I see you coming through.
Yeah. Hello.
See, but if I change that, that's just your gain. That's not actually like what's coming up.
Hello. Check. Hey. Hello.
No, it's not the main.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Testing, testing. Hello. Morning. Good morning. Testing, testing. 1, 2.
I guess we're not live streaming today. Nothing here.
Okay, you'll slow it down today. Okay.
Yes, you know, I read it like a selfie.
Oh, exactly. It's over there. So. I'll say security. Surroundings. To get into the show, there's two-way. We're going to do two-way. Deploying. If problems, are just thinking. I wasn't even here. Actually, you know what? Instead of this, why don't we read a special for us? So, how do you see this? This here. Yeah. So be journey to get yourself.
If I use it on my I'll be okay. I love you, Daniel. Love you too, Andy. Don't make you I love the rest of you too, but.
Hello, hello. Test, test. There we are.
Wireless mic check 1, wireless mic check 1, 2, 3. Wireless mic check from NPR. One, two, three, test. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Checking mic. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20.
He was basically
Shana Tova, everyone. It's wonderful to be here today. Today is Yom Kippur morning. And while we're just checking to make sure that everyone can hear me.
Very good. Not very well. Not very well.
I hear it's quiet in this room, but not in the other rooms. So we will, there you go. I could just talk really loud, but Shana Tova once again. Our Yom Kippur service, we're just so that everyone who is using a book, we're using the blue cover book. So hopefully everyone has the right one. And it's the same one that we used for Rosh Hashanah. We have, however, inserts for Yom Kippur. And as well, there are Yisker booklets around. We will be doing the Yisker service after our Torah reading service. But without further ado, we have lots to do today. So we'll get started on page 1.
I may now be a little loud.
No.
It was my fault. My apologies. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or v'arech chashech, oseh shalom, v'areis hakol. We're on page 2, the second paragraph. Or chadash al tzion ta'ir v'niz kechulana meher le'ora, Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer hamoros. Baruch atah Adonai, abocher mo Yisrael be'ahava. As we prepare ourselves for the Shema at the bottom of the page, note that the part that we normally say quietly, Baruch Shem Kavod, we're going to say out loud after we say the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso Le'olam Va'ed. We continue now with the Avinu Malkeinu as our ark is open.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, ve'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim.
Continue now with the Reader's Kaddish on page 4 as we close our ark.
יקרא ויקרא שמי רבה.
Amen.
ואמרתי ברכירותי ובנחמחותי בחייכונו ומייכונו וחי לכל בית ישראל. לגלה וזמן קריב והימרו.
Amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולם ביומיה יתברך.
יתברך ויצבח ויתברך ותרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה.
בריחו.
לעילה ולעילה מן כה ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה. דמירן בעלמה והימרו.
Amen.
תתקבל סלוטון אבותיהון, דכל בית ישראל קדם אבון, דבשמיא ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
יהי שלום הרבה מצמיה, וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו
Amen.
We continue now with the service to take our Torahs out of the ark. And I know we just closed the ark. That was symbolic because now we're going to reopen it for the Torah service. There's lots of ark openings and closings today. And we're going to continue on page 7.
ויהי בצהרון, ויאמר משה,
קומה אדוני ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך מפניך כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני
continue now on page 8 with the special Shema that we say before we take the Torahs around. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'Norah Shema.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'Norah Shema.
Gadlu Adonai Ikin Aramema Shehemo Yachdav. The Torahs are now coming around. Please feel free to be in the Torah's presence.
Lecha Adonai, Avdula ve'Hagvura, ve'Tiferet ve'Hanetzach ve'Hahod, Kichol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Lecha Adonai hamamlacha ve'hamit na'aseh lechol erosh.
Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu.
V'yishtachavu la'adam raglav, kadosh hu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
We're going to prepare ourselves now to, as we read from the Torah, our Torah blessings can be found on page 9 for those that want to follow there. And Aaron will have our first Aliyah. And Marilyn is coming right by to assist him.
Okay. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam v'oed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'charbanu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. By Adonai al Moshe Achrei Moshe Bnei Haran, Bikiratam Lifnei Adonai Ve'amutu. Vayomer Adonai al Moshe Diber El Aharon Achicha Vel Yavo B'chol Et El HaKadosh Mibeid El Parochet Al Panei HaKaporet Asher Al Ha'aret V'lo Yamut Ki B'yanecha Ara'ah Al HaKaporet Bezot Yavaron El HaKadesh Bofer Ben Mikol HaChata'at Ve'ayil Le'olam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nasa b'toichenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Our second aliyah, Marilyn, can you tell me who it is and I'll announce them?
Sydney Meltzer.
Sid Meltzer. Sydney Meltzer.
Okay. Baruch Adonai Habarah.
Baruch Adonai Habarah Ve'am Boyed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Michal Amen. Baruch Adonai Adonai Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Ketone bar kadesh. Yobos umachse ban yeyu abesara. Uvadat nan yachager. Vimetzfonot ba'achim slavigadi kadesh. And verachat b'mayim. Ed besara v'shem uma'et adat. B'nei Yisrael. Yikach shnei sharei zim chatatat ve'ayel echad. Le'olah. Vihi kri va'aret et par hachatat asher lo v'chaper be'ado uve'ad be'eto.
Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Michal Amen. Baruch Atam B'Toichenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. For our third aliyah, it will be Bonnie.
Right here.
Bonnie, who's sitting next to Sid.
Baruch Adonai Habarah.
Baruch Hanan Baruch Elam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Mikol Ha'ami V'natan Lanu Es Torah Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. V'kach et shnei hashirim v'namid otam lifnei Adonai petach hamoed v'noten Aharon al shnei hashirim goralot goral echad l'Adonai v'goral echad l'Azazel v'akriv Aharon et hashayir asher alav hagoral Adonai v'yasehu chatat v'seir asher Allah alav hagoral Le'azel ya'amod chai lifnei Adonai Chaper alav l'shalach oto Le'azazel b'midbara v'akriv Aharon et parachatat asher lo v'chaper ba'ado v'ad beito v'shachat et parachatat asher lo.
Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emes V'Hayei Olam Nata B'Tocheinu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
it is heavy.
We continue in our service with the part of the service where we're going to do Hakba and Galila, where we lift and tie the Torah. You could follow along the bottom of page 10. Whenever you're ready.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
Thank you very much. Guys, you're going to do Usher? We continue now in our Sidurim on page 13 for the Ashrei.
אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד ילוך הסלע.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו. קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יקראו
צדיק, צדיק אדוני, בכל דרכיו,
בכל דרכיו,
וחסיד, וחסיד, בכל מעשיו. קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יקראו אמת.
תהילת אדוני ידבר פיו, יברך כל בשר שקדשו לעולם ועד. יברך כל בשר שקדשו לעולם, ויברך כל בשר שקדשו לעולם ועד. ואנחנו נברך יה, נברך יה, מעתה, מעתה, מעתה ועד עולם.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
The next part of our service will be the Yisker service, and we'll be using these Yisker booklets. And there should be booklets wherever you are, and hopefully you have them, and if not, we could grab some for you. But we're not quite at that time at the moment. I just wanted to, while we prepare ourselves for that, I wanted to or tell you two things. I'll be doing a Devar Torah later in the service, and I want to take this time to thank everyone who is taking part today in our service. I will try to thank people later as well, but if I don't, you know who you are, and we're very grateful. I also wanted to personally thank, on behalf of the Simkin Center, the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg, for their support of these services, and for all that they do for our community and for us throughout the year, and wanted to mention and to thank them. We're going to continue on our service for the Yizkor service, and there are many traditions, some of which I don't quite understand, but there's some traditions where people would leave the service during the Yizkor service if their parents were alive. That is a tradition. It's not a commandment by any stretch, nor is it a tradition universally held. And I think it's wonderful for all of us to be together during the service. It could be an emotional time, and that's okay. Yizkor is the time where we remember our loved ones, but not just our loved ones. Or the definition of loved ones is very broad in our lives. We certainly remember our parents and our grandparents, our beloved family who are not here. Some of us are remembering children and siblings that are no longer with us. And it can be a very difficult time. But their deeds we're not only just remembering them, but we are thankful for all the deeds that they committed in their lives that we believe last beyond a lifetime. And these deeds assist us today. One of the reasons why we are saying the memorial prayers today is that we believe that the memory of our loved ones assist us, that their merit becomes our merit, and their merit works on our behalf to ensure that we have, that we're inscribed in the book of life, and that we have a life and a year of good deeds and truth. So I wish to say that, but not only do we remember our immediate loved ones, but we also remember our community members and our broader community and those who are not with us. And we will say some special readings in that regard as well. We're going to continue now in our booklets on page 4. So this is the Yizkor booklet, not the blue book, but on page 4 with Adonai Ma'adam. Eternal God, in whose eyes 1,000 years are but as yesterday, in whose hands are the souls of the living and the dead, in your sight every soul is precious. O God, from whom we come, to whom we belong, and to whom we shall return, strengthen us as we now remember our loved ones who have been reunited with you. Be with us as we consecrate this time to the memory of our departed. We continue now the bottom of the page with Shiviti. We'll continue on page 5 with Psalm 23. While this psalm is said at funerals, it's the one that's familiar, "The Lord is my shepherd" is how it starts. This is actually a psalm that can definitely be, that affirms, it affirms life. It is both a comfort and an affirmation, and very appropriate at this time. Adonai ro'i lo achsar, bina hadeshe, yar bihitzeni, ame mehenuchas, yan haleheni nafshi, yeshavev, yahancheni, b'magle tzedek, le'mahan shemo, shivtecha u'mishnetecha, hema yenachamuni. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters. God revives my spirit and guides me in paths of righteousness for the sake of God's name. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of darkness, I fear no evil, for you, God, are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. On page 6 and 7 and 8 are special prayers, the Yizkor prayers, prayers of remembrance. I'm going to call upon Moshe Kempner to come up now, just not to prepare now. I'll be calling on him in a few minutes. But at this time, we're going to be reading silently from those pages the Yizkorim, the Yizkor prayers that are important to us. In remembrance of, some of us are remembering a father or a mother, or a husband or a wife, or a son or a daughter, or other family members, or other members of our community. Please say the appropriate Yizkor, and we will continue in a few moments. And while you're saying these prayers, I will also speak. O God, this hour revives in us memories of loved ones who are no more. What happiness we share when they walked among us. What joy when loving and loved we lived our lives together. Months or years may have passed, yet we feel near to them. Our hearts yearn for them. Though the bitter grief has softened, a duller pain abides. For the place where once they stood is empty now forever. The links of life are broken, but the links of love and longing can never break. Their souls are bound up in ours forever. And we remember as well the men and women who but yesterday were part of our community. To all who cared for us and labored for the well-being of our people and of humanity, we pay tribute. May we prove worthy of carrying on the traditions of our people and our faith, for now the task is ours. Their souls are bound up in ours forever. We also remember the entire house of Israel and its martyrs, those in ages past who walked through the flames of the furnace, the 6 million of our brothers and sisters in our own time who were slaughtered because they bore the name Jew, the thousands who have given their lives for the establishment, defense, and affirmation of the state of Israel. All of these are present in our hearts. Merciful God, let the memory never fade of the faithful and upright of our people who gave their lives so that your name might be hallowed. Even in death, they continue to speak of us, of faith and courage. They rest in nameless graves, but their deeds endure, and their sacrifices will never be forgotten. Their souls are bound up in the bond of eternal life. No evil shall touch them. They are at peace. We will remember and never forget. At this time, Moshe is coming forward. He will be reading the El Malei Rachamim on page 9. in memory of those who perished in the Shoah.
אל מלא רחמים, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, את נשמות כל אחינו בני ישראל, אנשים, נשים וטף, שנטבחו ושנחנקו ושנשרפו ושנהרגו, בגן עדן תהי מנוחתם. אנא בעל הרחמים, הסתירם בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותיהם, ונאמר אמן.
Amen. I'm going to read first in English and then in Hebrew an El Malei Rachamim that we read in honor of all those who are no longer with us. Exalted, compassionate God, grant perfect peace among the holy and the pure in your sheltering presence to the souls of all our beloved who've gone to their eternal home. May their memory endure as inspiration for deeds of charity and goodness in our lives. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life. May they rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. El Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bamramim, Hamtzei Menucha Nechona, Tachas Kanfei Hashlina, B'mala Kedoshim Utorim, Gezor Ki Amazhirim, Enishmo Kol Eile, Shizkarno Ayom Livracha, Shochu Amam, Began Eden Ti Menuchasam, Anav Orachamim, Astirem Eseter Kanafecha Oamim, Utzor Bitzor Achaim, Et Nishmasehem, Adonai Nachalatzam Le'yanuchu V'Shalom, Al Mishkavosehem, V'nomar Amen. We continue and conclude our Yizkor service on page 10 with the Mourner's Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמה רבה.
אמן.
ועל מה דיברה כרותה וימליך מלכותה. בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי תחל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן.
אמן.
יהא שמה רבה, מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם, ויתנשא ויתהדר, ויתעלה ויתהלל שמה דקודשה, בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
אמן.
יש למה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
אמן.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
We're now going to turn back to our prayer books. So if you put aside your prayer books, now is the time to take them back. Give me a moment and I will give you the page.
16.
We continue on page 16 for the service to return the Torah to the Ark with Eitz Chaim Ki.
Eitz Chaim Hi, L'machazekim ba, V'tocheha me'ushar, Deracheha, Darchei
continue now on page 19 with the Shofar Gadol as we begin our Musaf portion of the service.
Shofar gadol, itoka, itoka, vekol demamadaka, vekol demamadaka, vekol demamadaka.
Mavir sonota
Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, uvyom som kippur yechatevu. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, uvyom som kippur yechatevu. Rosh Hashanah yikatevu, uvyom som kippur yechatevu, utshuva, utfila, utzdaka, et roach gezerah, mavirin, et roach gezerah. Berosh Hashanah yikatevu, uvyom som kippur yechatevu.
I'm going to continue, and we're going to continue on page, I'm doing something different than what I previously told the choir. So, choir, just so you know, follow my lead. We will not be singing Mechalkel Chaim in Hebrew today, but I wish to read the English and then go into V'chol Ma'aminim, and then I will do a Devar Torah. So we continue on page 22. In the bottom paragraphs, I just wish to read the following. You sustain life with loving devotion, O God, and renew life eternally with great compassion, upholding the fallen, healing the sick, freeing captive and keeping divine faithfulness for those who sleep in dust. Who compares with you, Master of all powers? Who is like you, a sovereign that brings death, generates life, and causes divine fulfillment to flourish? We continue with V'chol Ma'aminim on page 23.
V'chol
In our books, we're going to continue on page 40 in a minute or two. And page 40 begins our portion of the service which is unique to Yom Kippur. It's the Vidui, it's the confessional service. There's other services as well that are somewhat unique. But in any event, the theme of Yom Kippur is twofold. It's that God has mercy and compassion, and that we have a chance to repent. I've been thinking a lot about forgiveness. It goes without saying, that's one of the things that we're asking God for the things that we've transgressed against God. On Yom Kippur, this is a time where we ask forgiveness. It shouldn't just be on Yom Kippur, but certainly Yom Kippur is one of those days. And last night, for Kol Nidre, there was a lot of parts of the liturgy where we were asking for forgiveness for those that we transgressed. God can only forgive the transgressions that are against God. If we've transgressed against an individual, if we've sinned against an individual, we must ask them to forgive us. And it's with that in mind that I want to share a few words. And I know that I'm talking about seeking forgiveness or asking forgiveness or giving forgiveness to our fellow individual. But I want to start actually with something it says in the Torah about God. And at one of the particular times in the Torah, the Israelites had sinned. And what God says is, if you approach me for forgiveness, I will forgive you. We need to ask. We need to ask for forgiveness before we are forgiven. And that's a theme that we have. But I'm going to speak about something that's actually quite different. This past week on the radio, I was listening to an individual who was very touching, who's sharing his story of faith. This individual does not come from the Jewish faith, but he was explaining how a particular family member had done something that, at least the way that I would hear it, that I would believe is unforgivable. And yet he forgave this individual. I believe it was his father. And he forgave his father before his father asked for forgiveness. And the reason he did that was so that he felt that he needed to do it to move on. And I know how difficult it can be, and I know that everyone has their individual circumstances, but I thought at this time of Yom Kippur, particularly for those that may have transgressed against us, if we are still holding bitterness or hatred or otherwise inside, that we may want to consider, perhaps for some we'll be offering forgiveness to those that transgressed, even though they've not asked. And for others, though, we may want to consider, if not forgiveness, if that isn't something that we can do, and the concept of forgiving someone without asking is not a concept that's very alive in Judaism. However, at this point in time, if we're holding bitterness, if there's something that's impacting us, that's holding us back, I think that Yom Kippur is the time for us to consider that in our lives and to let it go. To do, or if not to let it go, to set it aside, to do what we need to so that we could move forward in this year. So that we could have the relationships, the relationship with God, the relationship with others, and really the relationship with ourselves, so that we can be the person that we need to be this year. And sometimes it is difficult for, I wish to say also, if we have transgressed against someone, now is the time to ask for forgiveness. And sometimes we don't even realize it, but we've sinned against ourselves. We've done something to our own selves that is holding us back. And this is the time to let that go as well. This is the time to forgive ourselves. So at this time when we're asking God for forgiveness, and perhaps we've done it earlier, and if not, now is the time as well, to ask each other for forgiveness. May this also be the time that we ask ourselves for forgiveness. May this be the time that we come to a point in our lives in the year where we can move forward and achieve the path that we can so that we can be the best person we can and have the best year that we can. I offer that to you today with a Shana Tova, a Gemar Chatima Tova. May we all be entered in the book of life for a good and sweet year. We continue now on page 40. Shema Kolenu. Shema Kolenu, page 40. Continue now with the Ashamnu on page 42. It is customary to gently beat one's heart, and we do that to emphasize the words that we are saying, although of course it is merely a custom. If you do not wish to do so, please do not feel obligated. I'm going to read the bottom of page 42. This is an interpretive Ashamnu. We say you will note that in the Hebrew, it went from Aleph to Taf. In the English here, it's going to go from A to Z. While this is a communal recitation, we believe that in doing it in this way, we symbolically include all sins we have committed. We alienate, we berate, we castigate, we desecrate, we extricate, we fulminate. We glorify, horrify, and indemnify evil. We justify killing love. We mortify. We neutralize. We ostracize. We patronize. We are quick to rationalize and satirize. We trivialize and are unwise. We vulgarize. We are wanton, xenophobic, and yield to zealotry. We come before God as we are. We come before God incomplete, and we come before God to ask for forgiveness. On page 43, we continue with the Al-Chet. For the sin which we've committed before you with a confused heart. For the sin which we've committed before you by lying. For the sin which we've committed before you by making excuses. For the sin which we've committed before you without even meaning to do so. For the sin which we've committed before you by being unkind to others. Forgive all these sins, O God of forgiveness, and grant us atonement. We continue on page 45 with the Kaddish Shalem. Yikadal Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Yalmad Yivrach Teva Miat Malchuteh B'chayachon of Yamechon Uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagalav Yizman Karivim Ramein.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Me'alam Me'al Be'amaya Yitbarach
Yibarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yisadar V'yisalev V'yisalav Shmei Nekudsha Richu Leila Leila Mikober Chasa V'shirasa Dush B'chasa Necha Masa Damiran B'yamav V'yimramein
Amen.
Tizkabel Sonot Ahon D'chol Yisrael Kedam Avahon D'B'shmai V'yimramein
Amen.
Yeshlam Arab Min Shamaya V'chaim Alein V'kol Yisrael V'yimramein
Amen.
Aseh Shalom B'yimramav V'yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen.
Amen. Aseh Shalom B'yimramav V'yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael.
We continue now with the concluding prayers. On page 46, we will sing Ein Keloheinu.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Adonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Keloheinu, Mi Adonenu, Mi Kemalkeinu, Mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, אתה הוא שתראו אבותינו לפניך את קטורת הסמים.
We continue now on page 48 for the Aleinu. You're going to notice me go in front of the table here, and I will be bowing down completely. In Jewish practice, it actually was our practice to do it this way. We seem to now just bow at the waist, but the tradition on Yom Kippur is to follow that ancient way as we continue with Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסר הארץ, ומושל יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהים, ואלוהינו אינו, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת עינו. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We continue on page 51 with the Mourner's Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמה רבה, ועל מה דיברה כרותה, וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון ובימלכון ובחיי תחל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יש שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם, ויתנשא ויתהדר, ויתהלה ויתהלל, שמע דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. יש לומר רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמר אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
Anyone who's standing, you may be seated. Want to, before we conclude with the Don Olam, and I think I'm going to also make a slight change. I think I'm going to do my family tune for Don Olam if no one minds. But before we get there, and I'll explain that in a moment, I want to thank everyone for being here today. I want to thank everyone who makes these services possible. I want to thank each and every staff member of the Simkin Center. We cannot do it without you. I really, really cannot express that enough. And I know that I express it often, but you cannot express it too often. We certainly, once again, we cannot we cannot do the things that we do, and our lovely and beloved residents cannot live the lives that they can live without your help and without your daily support, and thank you. A very, very, very special thank you to our High Holiday Choir. Thank you guys so very much. And in the token of forgiveness, I beg their forgiveness for starting in one key and ending in yet several others. There are some people who just don't go into choirs. I'm one of them. So there you go. I found my place, though, luckily enough. And thank you so very much. And I'm not going to introduce you, but I will say that once again, our services are so enhanced. I also just want to remind anyone who cares to do so, if you haven't done yet, and of course after the holidays or after today, our services survive by donation. We have forms that are at the front here at the home, and I know there's ways to donate online for those that may be watching us online. Please consider among the many worthy causes that you support, that you consider also supporting our services. We're going to conclude with a Don Olam, and I'm going to sing the tune, some of you know because I do this on Shabbat from time to time, a tune that my family sings when we sing a Don Olam. And if you're trying to figure out the tune, it's from Sharon, Lois, and Bram. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leis Nasa V'chetzo Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlas HaKol Levado Yimoch Nora V'hu Aya V'hu Oveh V'hu Yeh B'Sifara V'hu echad v'ein sheni Lehamshila leachbira B'li reshis B'li tachlis V'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra V'hu eli v'chai go'ali V'tzorchev li b'etzara V'hu nisi u'manos li Menas kosi b'yoham ekra Be'ado avkid ruchi, be'sishan ve'ayira, ve'im ruchi geviasi, Adonai li ve'lo yira. Shana Tova, may we all be inscribed in the book of life, and please continue to have a holy Yom Kippur. I encourage and in fact implore everyone who is taking medication, which I believe is most of us, to eat and drink today with our medications. I will be doing so myself. And our services continue this evening, 6:30. For our residents, it will be 6:30. And I look forward to seeing you all there for our Ne'ilah services. And once again, Shana Tova.